I'll start this off by saying that I already edited and filmed a new moon Pisces video. But as I was getting ready to post it, it did not feel ready. Like, it did not feel right to post. And I also noticed that while I was recording the video, I was getting really distracted by my notes and the astrology chart. And normally I like having those things out to reference. It's nice having a framework for these longer form videos. But for whatever reason, that was just distracting me and the messages weren't flowing. I wasn't in flow state. So we're going to re-record this now. This time I'll have my notes to the side if I need it, but I'm talking to you with my eyes closed. I'm just staring at, the dark back of my eyelids, I guess. It's black right now. I'm staring into that, but it feels like I'm staring into my mind. It feels like I'm tapping in to that unspoken energy that we could all feel and sense, but maybe it surpasses logic in our everyday 3D practical world. And I think that is the essence of Pisces energy. It has that connection to that unseen world that we can all sense and we can all feel. We know it's there, we know it's true. But it kind of defies our logical 3D reality. Something similar is like Wi-Fi. We know it's there, it's all around us, and everyone's like tapped into it. But it's like this background thing. We don't pay too much attention to it. Pisces energy is also about being nothing in a way. And I don't mean that in a weird ego way, to say you mean nothing and you are nothing. That's not true. Every single being and soul on this earth has purpose here. I believe that. And Pisces energy, though, it has this wisdom and this inner knowing that at the end of the day, we can come home, we can put our headphones on, close our eyes, tune out from the world, and you don't have to be, Jane anymore. I don't have to be Bruja bitch. I don't have to be Nia. You don't have to be, whoever you are. You can kind of like take the titles and the roles and the responsibilities off your chest for a second and just be. That is another state of Pisces. And it loves this state. And I recommend that you guys tap into that state. Let go of all the worries, all the things you identify with, all the ways you want to label yourself, and just be a soul. You can do that by meditating. Right now I'm doing that by channeling. You can do that by stretching, maybe creating art, getting into your flow state, chilling by the river, soaking up some sun. More moments to just be. That is the medicine and wisdom of this new moon and what it's trying to remind you of. And it's in these moments where we're meditative, where we're in flow state, that our minds are empty enough and inspiration can pop in. Imagination, flashes of insight, epiphanies. Those things come from random directions, parts of ourselves in our brain that we wouldn't expect it to at a time when we aren't looking for it. It's kind of the irony of those things. And it's from that quietness where an idea is born, or insight or imagination appears. That is the seed of what you're building next. I feel like 2025 really put us just in this point in life where we were letting a lot of things go, shedding a lot of old karmic ties and identities and emotions and things weighing on our psyche, and we were doing a lot of like in-house cleaning in 2025. In 2026, it's kind of time to step out of being in your own little world and engage again. And I think what you bring with you is whatever that piece of inspiration, idea, or magic was. It's like I get the image of like the man who has to go to the top of the mountain, and there they channel, some creative, innovative idea, maybe a think piece, maybe a writing piece, content, business idea, art idea, just something to say to your boss that would make things run smoother. I don't know. But they come down from the mountain and they bring that into the world, right? A lot of us are doing that on a metaphorical basis. And maybe what we're retrieving could be something that's emotionally healing, spiritually healing, physically healing, mentally healing. It could come hit us on any of those planes. Pisces also has to do with the deep ocean. And the image I feel here is like sand, and an ocean crashes on it, and the ocean will pull back anything that's loose, and there it goes, it's gone into the abyss of the big white ocean, never to be seen again. This new moon in Pisces can kind of have a clearing effect like that, and can wash away a lot for us too. Something to keep in mind was that Neptune was in Pisces for 14 years. It's now in Aries, newly in Aries. But it spent a long time in the house that Pisces rules in your chart. And I think that we are still seeing what that all led up to. We're still seeing what are we supposed to do with the information and the lessons that we got from that time period. We're still figuring all that out. And going back to my beach metaphor, it's like the ocean washes away everything that was loose, but what you're left with is kind of the basics, the meat and potatoes of it all, the foundations. Whatever you're left with can withstand, the waves and the crashes and the winds of life. And our question is, well, what do we do with that? And again, that ties back to your imagination. That's where the answers are going to be. They're going to be from within. Sure, you can watch an astrologer on YouTube and get an idea, but all I could do is point you in the right direction. I can't go into your mind, into your body, into your spirit, into your soul, and retrieve something or retrieve some type of idea. That's what you have to do. Another thing I would recommend for the rest of March, if you can. If you can't, try to do it weekend of the new moon, but take a rest. Relax while you can literally hear a plane going by as I say this. Maybe some of you need to take a vacation or take a trip. But I say this because come April, it's go time. Foot is on the pedal and we gotta go. The astrology of April is very forward moving, momentum picks up, and it's gonna go fast. And we will need our energy. So it is important to go take time to rest. And rest is productive. And remember, rest doesn't just look like sleeping. Rest is just kind of like I said, letting yourself be that person on that mountain just chilling. I seriously recommend that. Do that while Mars is still in Pisces. A Mars in Pisces is like a chill Mars. It's like the stoner guy relaxing, vibing, like munching on a sandwich. It makes me think of like Scooby and Shaggy. They're very Mars and Pisces coded. Try to be in that state if you can for the rest of March, or if not, like I said, at least the new moon, because April, man. And I will have month ahead horoscopes on my Patreon. I invite you to check that out. That's where I will be posting monthly guidance, monthly astrology to help you navigate. And April's gonna be one heck of a month. I also feel almost like that the collective is at a breath hold. It's like that moment where maybe you're feeling a little heightened, feeling a little stressed. You're at maybe the top of the roller coaster and you're kind of like holding your breath. Or maybe you just fell into a body of water, if any of you like have kayaked or whatever. Or just even jumped off a boat to go play in the water. You kind of understand that feeling of like you hop in and you hold your breath. And you're kind of holding your breath the whole time until you're back on land, until you feel chill and calm. That's what I feel the collective is kind of at, this breath hold. And I think that this new moon could be also a release, where we kind of finally remember to sigh. So maybe during this time we kind of get news that gives us that relief. We pass some type of frustration. And I will talk about that in your zodiac sign horoscopes, what frustrations you might be surpassing. I feel so much better about this message. I can't wait to upload this video instead. But yeah, so glad I recorded this. Trust your intuition, trust your gut, trust when something doesn't feel right. I feel like if you can take anything away from this podcast, it would be that. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you go check out your sun, moon, and rising horoscopes and you enjoy those. Would love to hear what your thoughts and your feedback in the comments below. And if you aren't already subscribed, then go ahead and hit that button. If you'd like to hang out, you can also check the description box down below if you would like to work with me or check out my Patreon. I'll see you guys again. Now, the house that Pisces rules in your chart, that's where you're transcending a frustration. The house that Virgo rules in your chart is where you are done overdoing it. And the house that Aries rules in your chart is where a dream is taking form. So that's what we're diving into in your personal horoscopes today. Watching for your rising will tell you what area of your chart is this new moon actually going down in. Watching for your sun sign can tell you how your identity or your personality might be impacted by this energy. And then watching for your moon sign can tell you how you might be emotionally or psychologically experiencing this. Aries, you are transcending like a spiritual battle in your mind. Like you are transcending a lot of emotional weight, a lot of spiritual heaviness, or if you've been battling your demons, we are winning that battle. For the past 2 years, things that you have buried deep inside of you have been surfacing and you've been confronting and working through them. There has been so much growth, so much change behind the scenes. This new moon in Pisces feels like the light at the end of the tunnel, like you are finally moving on from this. You are strong enough to start to build a life outside of this. So give yourself permission to do that. Like you don't have to carry this weight forever or this heaviness forever or trauma, whatever it is that you've been suppressing and carrying. It can literally leave your body, your essence now. It does not have to be the base of your decision. And you don't have to make a mountain of it either. You can close a chapter, even if it's messy. And there is a new life available for you, Aries, on a foundational level. I'm talking your home, your work, your career, and who you surround yourself with. You are no longer overgiving when it comes to your work responsibilities. Something has to give. You either need to get promoted or get paid properly or reduce how much energy you pour in if it's not properly being compensated. Aries, you can be the kind of person who would take on too much sometimes because you kind of get unicorn syndrome. You're like, move, let me do it. Move, I got it. But this new moon says you don't have to constantly fix everyone else's problem. You don't have to take on extra obligations just to be respected and recognized. It's time to prioritize your well-being. There's a new dream taking shape when it comes to your identity, your self-expression, the way the world sees you. So you know how you could meet someone, they look kind and sweet on the outside, but then you really get to know them and they are feisty and mean on the inside. It is that initial outer impression that is changing for you. And I think you're getting more in tune with that energy, essence, aura, whatever you want to call it. And people are starting to see the real you stand in your energy with confidence. I think this gives you a new sense of self, a new personal direction. You can trust your instincts and how you want to move forward in life. You don't need a TikTok For You page astrologer to be telling you. Let's go ahead and pull a card for you, Aries. Okay, you got the card, God of the Arts. I love that. It says the artist within you is about to emerge. I love this. It feels very spiritual. It feels like there is like this new identity being born, and I'm excited for you, Aries. I think there's a lot of BS that you do not have to identify with anymore. Taurus, you are transcending frustrations when it comes to your community, your networks, acquaintances, friendships. Now, I will say that this feels a little bit more of distant friendships. So like people go to work with, school with, random people we see at the coffee shop every Tuesday, you know, that type of community. Maybe online communities. This could also be like collaborations, maybe certain professional groups that you work with. Groups that share same mission. Over the past couple years, I feel like you've been trying to find what collective space do you fit into, who is your tribe, where is the village, and I think that has revealed deeper truths about where do you need to heal when it comes to building friendships. Like, are you a good villager? This new moon may present an opportunity to find that tribe, or at least to recognize which one is not your tribe. I could see new friendships, collaborations, support coming in. I feel like your village begins to solidify and really take form, especially going into April. Now, Taurus, the pleasure part of life, the expressive, creative part of yourself has been feeling a little blocked. You may have felt a little disconnected from yourself, your personality, your sense of self-expression, what lights you up, what brings you joy. And I think it's because you've been trying to be something for everyone else. You forgot how to be yourself. And it's time to let that go. Let go of people where you don't get to be yourself around them. Let go of the need to always prove yourself, the need to always perform. You have tried too hard to be perfect. This energy asks you to release that pressure. Start to honor yourself again. Start to respect what your body, your mind, your heart is telling you. The more you do that, the more you will call your light, your energy back. And when we're calling our energy back, that brings in joy, that brings in pleasure, that will re-spark your creativity, that will make you feel like yourself again. There's a little bit of like vampiric energy here, Taurus. You gotta identify what that is and cut it off. Taurus, I get this image of like there's this really precious version of yourself. It's very spiritual, it's very creative, artistic. It wears its heart on its sleeve. It loves life, and you have tucked that away deep inside. But the cap is off, and that part of you is coming through, whether you like it or not. And the more that you heal, the more that you do your shadow work, and you kind of spiritually attune to what's going on the inside, your own internal world, the more you attune to that, the more this version of yourself can come through. And this is a version of you that is going to build the life that you've always wanted. This March, this new moon, it seeds that journey, that process. Listen to your intuition. Your gut is telling you something's off. Allow space for that to come through. Let yourself move forward from it, and I think you'll be surprised how supported you are in doing so. All right, let's pull a card for you, Taurus. All right, this card says Angel of New Life. Sorry, I gotta like block the imagery. It's a little, you know. Anyway, Angel of New Life, an exciting new chapter in your life is about to unfold. And I think you can feel that. You can feel that, Taurus, and the one who brings that to life is that person that you've been gatekeeping from everybody. Maybe you felt a little confused about your career direction. You weren't sure what to do with it, what next steps you should take. I think now an opportunity arrives, and this is like the clear next step. Not an opportunity, then an idea. Either way, I think your direction in life, your mission, that's getting clear. And if you've already felt connected to this, then this could be a time where you're getting that recognition, that reward. You could also get guidance from mentors on what to do next. Now you are no longer over-servicing yourself when it comes to your family, your home life. Maybe you don't have so much obligation. Maybe things in that area have settled. If you've been feeling burdened maybe by the home or the family, maybe you have a lot of emotional or financial responsibility, I think this is a time where you're going to get out of that somehow in a supportive way. Something about your home life feels like the foundations are becoming healthier. If it doesn't manifest as the physical home, it could show up as your body. Your body's the home that you can never move out of. So maybe you're taking better care of that and you're getting more stable there. Gemini, there's something beautiful taking form when it comes to community, networks, acquaintances. These aren't like one-on-one close friends. These are like coworkers, people we collaborate with, our online communities, our network circles, that we get opportunities from. Something really good and supportive is coming out of that. I think you'll find yourself more surrounded with people who support your growth, who open doors of possibility for you. Those seeds are being planted this month. When you collaborate with the right people, achieving your goal can become way easier. Okay, Gemini, let's pull a card for you. Like I said, I have such good energy about this. Ooh, you got Angel of Pleasure. Had to cover her. This card says, take pleasure in the things you do. I love that, Gemini. I think you are really passionate about something. You have a talent, a skill. You're really creative, and people see that and they love you for it. And I think you're feeling really good about it. Gemini, if you have any blockages when it comes to pleasure, this is the time to start to move through that and address that, because I think more pleasure, more joy is ready to enter your life. Cancer! I always get so excited to do Cancer horoscopes because I'm a Cancer sun and rising. This new moon in Pisces will help you transcend a frustration around purpose and meaning. You've been confused about your life direction, or where do you fit into like the bigger world? What is the meaning of your experiences? Like, why did you go through all of this BS? This is a new moon that helps you to understand what all of this is leading up to. What is your spiritual quest? What is the true path that you are meant to follow? Over the past couple years, you've been questioning that and experimenting with that. Now, the opportunity appears to reconnect you with your purpose, to reconnect you with your direction in life. There could be guidance and opportunity that comes through teachers and mentors, or maybe you're having meaningful conversations with mutuals in your field. They see your future, they see it clearly, they want to hop on that and work with you and give you opportunities. Now, you are no longer over-servicing through your mind, through your communication, your skill set. You are no longer meant to overextend yourself in this area. Cancer, maybe you felt like you've been in charge of solving everyone else's problem. Maybe you were constantly explaining, handling, resolving issues for other people. That takes a lot of mental work. That takes a lot of skill. And you no longer have to carry the weight of that anymore. And when you do, your mind becomes clearer and lighter, your mental health improves, and you'll have more energy and creativity to pour into yourself. Your dream is taking place when it comes to your mission, your public role, your public status, the long-term goals that you are building, the foundations you're building, the legacy you're building. There's probably a vision that's been in the back of your mind that kind of connects to your career, and that is finally coming to life. This new moon is a time to seed that. You don't have to have all the answers, take it step by step, and the path will unfold naturally. Alright, Cancer, let's get a card for you. You got the card Angel of Self-Worth. I love that. It says you are currently undervaluing yourself. It's time to regain your self-worth. The angel said, stop playing. Stop playing when it comes to you, because we don't play about you. Leo, this new moon will have you transcending your fears, any emotional intensity, or karmic bonds that you just need to get the heck out of. Over the past couple years, you've been forced to face your shadow sides, your dark sides, your attachments. What do you want to be bonded to and how? This new moon presents you with an opportunity to get out of those bonds. This is good. This looks like getting out of contracts, getting out of relationships, getting out of places where you've just felt stuck. There's this deeper feeling of freedom coming. I think you will have the right conversation or the right group of people who come in and support you and help you move out of this. Leo, you are no longer extending yourself through your resources. The dynamic of who provides for who may need to change. I also feel like you're no longer trying to prove your worth to people through these resources, through showing competence, through showing people how helpful you can be and how useful you can be, which you are, Leo. You're very generous. I think you have pushed yourself to work harder and give more than you were supposed to. And I think it's asking you to evaluate what you tie your self-worth to. You recognize your value, you know what you bring to the table, and you're like, this is what I need to bring it. I see confidence returning. I see this area in life healing. I see Leo no longer being drained. Now there's a new dream taking shape when it comes to your purpose in life, your direction, how you think you fit into the bigger, wider world. I think you're getting ready to embark on some type of spiritual quest, some type of like self-discovery journey. That could be through travel, through education, through exploring spiritual philosophies, something that just opens your mind up to what else is out there. You're building a deeper understanding of life and yourself. Might be why you've been called to astrology. March is like the beginning of that quest. Follow your curiosity and don't be afraid to venture off into new horizons. Let's pull a card for you, Leo. Okay, this feels good. You got the card Goddess of Oneness. Sorry, I have to make sure it's covered. It says someone you love is thinking fondly of you at the moment. And Leo, this kind of feels like your higher self is the one that is thinking of you fondly. Of course, take only what resonates. I almost feel like there's a future version of you that's like, go this way, follow that path, book that flight. Virgo, you are transcending a frustration when it comes to a partnership. It could be business, platonic, romantic. Maybe over the past couple years, a connection with you and another person has been losing its fire. Maybe boundaries, needs, and expectations were tested. I feel like now is an opportunity to finally reconnect with your partner, finally understand each other, and get that connection fired up again. Or this could be an opportunity to exit a connection that is not in alignment with you. Some of you might have the opportunity to have a business, romantic, or platonic partnership come in and really shake you up in a good way. This is a good time to renew any agreement, have those important conversations with each other, and I think you're moving forward in a good way. Virgo, you have the South Node in your sign right now, and you are just no longer overextending yourself in every area of life, but especially in the way that being the problem solver, being the caretaker, always having it together and always being helpful to other people, how has that shaped your identity? Virgo, you have the kind of aura where if somebody's lost in the hall and they're looking for like a nice person to ask, you know, where is classroom 36 or whatever, you have the aura where people feel like they could come up to you. But how has that like shaped who you are in the world? But I think you're letting go a little bit of being the responsible one, the capable one, the one that can fix everything, the one that holds everyone together. You're seeing who else are you underneath that. You're letting yourself exist more honestly. Virgo, start saying no. Start saying, I don't want to help you with that. Start saying, no, I can't. Like, put yourself first a little bit more. And when you do, you'd be surprised how healthier and more balanced your partnerships become. Because you no longer have this resentment of like having to carry so much of the weight in the relationships. Now, there's something new taking over when it comes to your shadow side, your psyche, intimacy, your emotional foundations, your bonds, inheritances, finances. There's a lot transforming in that area. And this March would be like the planting of those seeds. Virgo, you can't always control all of this, so just let what's meant to emerge. I think some of you are forming great new alliances that are powerful alliances, or at least ones that would give a lot to you. I think some of you may be building businesses, forming a lot of connections with, you know, plenty of clients. Some of you are transforming within and are becoming maybe an entirely new person, but something powerful is emerging. All right, Virgo, let's pull your card. That one went flying and wanted to come out. This says Angel of Families. Sorry, again, had to block that. But it says the angels surround both you and your family at the moment. I love that, Virgo. You are divinely protected out here. Libra, you are transcending frustration around work, health, or your daily routine. Maybe you've been dealing with a heavy workload. Maybe your routine has been disrupted or non-consistent. Maybe you've been struggling a little with health. I think this new moon brings in a healing opportunity. This is one of those new moons where you get it together. I also think you're understanding what you need to sustain yourself. Like how much energy and resources is actually required to sustain the life that you want. I think you're getting the opportunity to have that resource, to make practical changes that help you to feel grounded. Libra, I feel like you're no longer allowing yourself to be absorbed into everyone else's problems and drama. I think you're done doing any invisible labor. By that I mean you're doing labor that you did not sign up for, that is not your duty, that nobody's recognizing or appreciating. I think you're able to exit these situations quietly. Whatever was costing you too much energy, you're done. I think you're becoming more protective of your peace, and whatever energy is not yours to carry, return to sender. I think your relationships are taking new shape. Maybe some of you are leveling up and getting married, getting into relationships, deepening your relationships, moving in with a partner. Maybe some of you are setting new rules, new boundaries. Maybe intimacy is changing up. Maybe you're renegotiating the commitment. The most important people are the ones that walk beside us in life. I think you kind of feel like inspired here. Be inspired to create a better, more fun, lively dynamic. Maybe inspired to respect yourself or another person. Maybe inspired to show gratitude and love and bring in joy. Trust whatever adjustments are being made. It's guiding you towards a more sustainable relationship. This could be business, platonic, romantic. Okay, Libra, let's pull a card for you. You got the card, Angel of Vision. This card says, someone is not revealing part of the story. Trust your feelings over what others say. Libra, if anybody is sending you negative energy, send it back to them threefold. If you're a witchy person, you need to pull cards on that, okay? Tarot will tell you. Libra, I also feel like you are divinely protected through this too. Like the universe wants you to know the truth. Scorpio, you are transcending a frustration around creativity, expression, and joy. Or baby making. Or romance and pleasure. There's been a lot of frustration building up in these areas, Scorpio, and this new moon is helping you to relieve that a little. Getting in touch with your heart, getting in touch with what actually makes you happy instead of what would make other people like you more. I feel like you just had so much responsibility. You've been kind of like pulled away from the pleasure of life, from creativity and dating and romance, all that fun play stuff. But now comes an opportunity to reconnect with that, make that a ritual, to get excited and inspired by life again. Could see development or opportunities when it comes to your creative projects, romantic life, having children, fifth house things, healing the inner child. I think you remind yourself how important it is to excite your spirit. Now, Scorpio, you are no longer overextending yourself when it comes to your communities, your friendships, your network circles, especially acquaintances. You know, there are friends, and then there's the mofo we go to class with. You know, there's the coworker that we see every Tuesday. You may have felt obligated to pour a lot of support into the group dynamic to protect and defend the group, but I think you've taken on too much responsibility. Energy will ask you to step away from communities that don't give back, too. As you release those dynamics, connections may appear that are more in alignment. People who would also be a good villager to you. You know, there's that saying where people want a village, but they don't want to be a villager. I think you are learning that about yourself, if you are a good villager or not, and then you're also learning about the people around you as well. Something beautiful is taking shape when it comes to your health and your work life. Like, you are getting better at managing yourself in that way, taking better care of yourself. I think you're inputting better systems and organization to support yourself. I think once you have your daily life optimized, your daily life is in a groove, it's in a flow, everything else starts to flow. I also love this opportunity when it comes to promotions or advancing in the work, or like manifesting a dream position, manifesting a dream job. I love this energy for you. So Scorpio, go for it. Like, you better be applying. Like, you better be putting yourself out there. Whatever your dream, like, goal is, whatever it is that you want to master every single day. Like, there's something beautiful about doing the nitty-gritty detailed work to master something. That's the work I'm talking about here. You have a skill set, you have something that you're really freaking good at that could make you a lot of money, and you just need to hone it in if you aren't already. All right, Scorpio, let's pull a card for you. You got the card God of Indulgence. Ooh, it says, it's all right. Stop beating yourself up. A little indulgence in balance is healthy. What a confirming card, considering we had all that energy about introducing fun and pleasure. What a good reminder to do so in a balanced, healthy way. Sagittarius, you will be transcending any frustrations around the home or the family, or emotional awareness, inner foundation. Over the past couple of years, there may have been a lot of changes when it comes to your family dynamic. Maybe you've gone through a lot of shakeup with your family. Maybe some of you are new parents. Maybe dynamics have changed. Now is an opportunity to create more stability in the home. Family relationships may heal, or drama around that could come to a close. Maybe you and your partner learn how to coexist again. Maybe you're bringing some passion back into it. I think this new moon is giving you clarity on what does it take to make yourself feel at peace inside. How can you feel at home in your physical home, but also the home in your body, you know? Like, at home in your mind, at home in your emotions, in your spirit. Maybe some of you are reconnecting with your body in a new, deeper way with more self-respect and more love. Sagittarius, I think you're no longer overextending yourself due to career pressures. Maybe career pressures are tied to the family and home life pressures. I think you've been feeling a little burnt out, a little overworked. Things are feeling too monotonous. We know a Sagittarius needs some adventure, some spontaneity. Maybe you've been working hard to maintain an image of success. Maybe you no longer resonate with that. And I get it, Sagittarius, you want a career that supports your foundations and your direction in life. And I get, Sagittarius, that you just want to support your foundations and your direction in life, and you can, but maybe there's an alternate way. There's a quote I heard from Stephen Forrest, and it's a curse. And I'm not trying to curse you as I say this, I want to put that out there. I'm just quoting the curse. But the curse goes, I hope you work a job that only pays you money. If you really stay with it and you think about it, you get the wisdom from it. That there's more to life than just working for money. There's a mission that some of us have out here. There's a bigger calling. Maybe there's a path to making money that is more fun and fulfilling. Which leads me to my next point. A dream of yours is taking form through creativity and joy. Some of you are reconnecting to your passion. Some of you are remembering what you need to feel joy, to be happy. Remember, you don't have to work really hard to deserve that. You can have that. You could have a balance of work and play. Maybe you're remembering what it takes to feel alive, what it takes to feel romantic and feel pleasure, to feel inspired. Some of you might be exploring new projects. Some of you might be creating something. But I do feel if you allow more joy into your life, then everything else starts to feel less intense, less dreadful. Sagittarius, I'm hearing the quote, life is not in the four walls of your home. Like, there's an adventure calling to you. There's like a new joy, a new sense of fun, something that kind of makes you feel re-inspired and alive again. That is calling to you. All right, Sagittarius, let's pull a card for you. All right, you got the card Goddess of Strength. And this card says, stand up for what you believe and you will gain respect by holding your ground. Capricorn, you are transcending frustration when it comes to communication, your skill sets, or your perception on the world around you. If there are any situations that have felt confusing, I think you're getting clarity on that. Maybe you've gone through experiences that have just shifted your perspective on life. But I think now comes an opportunity to speak the lessons of that, to share the wisdom of that, to turn that and alchemize that to art or something. If any of you are writers, public speakers, content creators, leaders, maybe your voice is carrying a lot more power right now. Maybe you're understanding how to use your voice to your advantage to help you advance in your career. You are also no longer overextending yourself when it comes to being everyone's leader, everyone's guide. Sometimes you, Capricorn, you need the guide, you need the mentor or the teacher. And I think you're going to get that. And I think that will help you be a better guide or teacher to someone else. Capricorn, find your students and your teachers and know where you are meant to be a student and where you are meant to be a teacher. Have that in balance, and sometimes we forget that we can't help everybody. And when we try to help people that we can't help, it becomes a messy, draining process. There's also new shape taking form when it comes to your home life, your family, your internal foundation. I think you're getting a lot of private support. I think you're building something solid over the next few years. Some of you might be creating families, buying houses, settling into a house, settling into your family. March would be the seeding of this. I think your inner world is starting to feel stable and it's starting to strengthen, but it's also coming back to a baseline. But I think that baseline shows you what is truly strong, what can withstand the waves of life. And usually the people that do that are family. So look who's around you, who is with you through the waves of life. That is your family. And if you don't have that, you're building that. Aquarius, you are transcending frustrations when it comes to confidence, self-worth, resources, money. Over the past few years, maybe you were facing a lot of lessons in that area of life, but it taught you what to truly value. I think this new moon will present you with an opportunity to strengthen your finances, to become more stable. Maybe you get a good idea or you have some type of talent or skill that can support this growth, but I think you're moving forward in a good direction. You are no longer overextending yourself when it comes to your emotional attachments and entanglement. Maybe there's been a lot of intensity in your emotional bonds with people. Maybe you've been tied to people that aren't in alignment with you, that bring out the worst in you. You have to be the one to carry most of the burden and responsibility in the relationship. I think this energy frees you from that dynamic. And if you are already free from that dynamic, then this energy helps you heal from that dynamic. And if you've already healed from that dynamic, well, then this energy gives you a feeling of independence, a feeling of, I freaking did it. You released what was draining you. You reclaimed your autonomy. I think there's some type of dream that takes form when it comes to writing, speaking, learning, teaching. Maybe some of you are finding your voice in this world. Maybe you're writing books, you're making content, you're talking to the right people, having the right conversations and negotiations. I always say that the right piece of information can literally change your life. The right conversation can literally change your life too. I think you're realizing how communication and wording is an important tool. Maybe you're investing in that more, getting speech coaches, writing coaches. I think there's like an idea that you need to express, connections that you need to make. But your voice, your words, is going to take you somewhere far. So will your skill sets and your talents, so lean into those. Okay, Pisces, let's pull a card for you. You got Angel of Joyfulness. I gotta cover her up. It says something wondrous and magical is about to happen. I love that, Aquarius. Sometimes we are co-creating with the universe. Sometimes we lead the universe. And other times the universe leads us. And I feel like that's what's happening here. Like the universe is leading you and something magical is going to happen that proves that you are connected to a greater source. There is something out there watching over you. All you have to do is believe in lucky moment. Pisces, our star of the show. It's your new moon. New moon in your sign happens once a year. You are transcending frustration around identity and how you fit into this world and your direction in life. What I mean by identity is this. Imagine like you meet somebody, they look all sweet and cutesy, so you're going to assume they're sweet and cutesy. But then you really get to know them and you find out that they're feisty, they're a little daredevil. That first initial like brush with your identity, that's the part of you that's changing. There could be a frustration when that's off. You're like, everyone thinks I'm a certain way when I'm actually this way. So there's something about that frustration that is being transcended. It's like finally the way I actually am, people are picking up on that and seeing me. And I think you've just done so much self-discovery, self-healing, shadow work that you just know yourself better and you know how to present that in your aura, in your essence. Maybe Pisces, some of you are taking off the mask that you wore to kind of keep yourself safe. You were gatekeeping the real you. You were protecting the real you because maybe you're soft on the inside or something, and you're ready to take that mask off and you realize your softness is a strength. This could change everything for you. It changes how the world responds to you. It'll change how one-on-one dynamics respond to you. It is also, since you are changing how you manifest in like the real 3D world, the way you manifest, the things that you call in, the opportunities that you get can change in a more aligned way. You're no longer overextending yourself when it comes to your one-on-one relationships too. That could be romantic, platonic, business. It's those one-on-one personal relationships. I think you're no longer taking the bulk of the emotional responsibility, no longer caring for others in a way that drains your energy, drains your resources. You're just done over sacrificing yourself in a partnership. Sometimes Pisces, that's just their love language. Like they will give you so much love without asking for anything in return. Pisces, like you've had it. You're not doing that anymore. I think you're unafraid to set the boundaries. And because your self-respect, your relationship to yourself is changing, those dynamics have to change too. There's a saying that goes, to love someone is to love a million faces of them. There's also a saying that goes, the way that you love is a reflection of how you interact with money, prosperity, and abundance. If you are someone who likes to give with nothing in return, well, you probably see that reflected in your finances. Pisces, there's a new, better dream taking shape when it comes to your stability, your self-worth, and your finances. I think you're getting more confident. You understand what it is that you could truly uphold and stand by. What do you really value? I think you're building a stronger sense of material stability. And March is the time when we plant those seeds. I think opportunities to grow and strengthen your finances will appear. Okay, Pisces, let's pull an oracle card for you. You got Angel of Support. Oh, I love the butterfly wings. It says, the universe has heard your silent call for help. This tells me that you have like a direct hotline to the universe, to angels, to guides, to your ancestors. All you gotta do is pray, Pisces. All you gotta do is say things out loud, and you might be surprised how quickly they manifest. Now, be grounded with it. You know, odds are if you say, I want to be a millionaire, that's not going to manifest instantly. But if you say something like, God, give me an opportunity to make 10K a month, like, hey, if you've been putting yourself out there, been putting your work out there, been proving yourself, like, why can't that opportunity come your way? But if you're also just like, I need support, I need help, you might be surprised what community members are down to help you, who supports you, who really loves you, who's in your corner. And Pisces, I think you've got people in your corner. You've surely earned it, pouring so much love into people. Like, none of that is going to waste. There's people out here that would pour that much into you.